color before we process shape, symbols, words, or other visuals. So when your package is on the shelf, what is the first thing that is noticed?
Color.
Color. And what is the main thing that is remembered by a consumer when it relates to packaging design? Color. So color is immensely important. So let's talk a little bit about color terminology, and I have some definitions up here of words that should be reviewed from your other courses, 2D design courses and whatnot. So what's another word for hue? Color.
Yeah.
Yeah, color, good. And neutrals, when we refer to the term neutrals, they are black, white, and gray. Then we have really tense tones and shades of a particular hue. And when we're working with color or hues, usually we say, oh, maybe if we could have a different tint of this or a different shade of that. And to know how we're using those words properly, a tint is what, does anybody remember what a tint is? Pure.
Plus, yeah.
Yep, plus white. Good. So you're on the right track. You do remember. A tint is a color or hue plus white or mixed with white. So on the flip side of that, a shade of a color is that particular color or hue mixed with black. Not mentioned by the book, but something that we do talk about is tone. And usually we deal with tones of color. So a tone is pure color mixed with white plus black or color plus gray. When we're talking about the saturation of a color, we're talking about its intensity or its purity. So things that are very, very saturated are also very intense. And value, of course, is not how much money we pay for it, but the lightness or darkness of the color. And you can relate to your value scales, so a scale that goes from white through grays to black. We can relate that to hue. So if we talk about the color yellow, is it a light value or dark value color? It is a light value color. And if you're having trouble with that, your purchased color wheel from one of these craft stores can help you with that. Okay. Again, consumers are most likely to remember the color of a package, first and foremost, beyond any other visual. And you may relate to that to say, oh, I always get the one in the red box, or I always look for the white box on the shelf, and that's what I get. And it's most important to know that color can distinguish a package or an object from other items on the shelf. So now we're going to talk about different colors and how they are used or associated in the realm of packaging. So red is a warm color, and it's associated most often with fire, excitement, power. We know that red can also imply danger, and technically can speed up your heart rate. In dealing with food products, because a lot of packaging, we have to face it, deals with food products, is used to signify flavors, such as cherry, apple, or raspberry. Okay, staying in the warm group of colors, orange is warm and it's associated with warmth, energy, cheer, enthusiasm. And when we think of when we are using the color orange, it is often used to communicate strength and a fruitiness or a zest. And again, it can be used to imply flavors. And we all obviously know orange, the color orange implies orange, or it can imply citrus. Yellow is also a warm color and is also associated with warmth, sun, and energy. It's a quite a bit brighter value or lighter value than orange. Yellow can also be used, and this is very interesting that it has these two implications. One of hope, so when we think of yellow ribbons, and then also caution coward and deceit. So that's a really interesting thing about the color yellow. It's often used sparingly. Can indicate lemon, butter. Can also indicate, of course, citrus. Green. Green is associated with life. We probably see the use of green a bit more, not just the color, but also the term green. So what does the term green refer to? Eco-friendly? Yeah, environmentally friendly. So green is associated with being organic. In different cultures, it can imply good luck, wealth, and a lot of times green means go. So action. And it can be used to imply healthy, and we'll talk about the color blue in just a moment as well. But when used to imply flavor, of course we get mint, sour, apple, lime. So citrus can be implied with three very different colors: green, yellow, or orange. Okay, blue often is associated with wisdom. Blue can be loyal as well. It depends on the value of the color and the tonality of the color. So we can get a big, broad range of how blue what it can imply, from depression to relaxation to being very stable. And at one time, it was not used very often in packaging because of its indication of mold. And it's interesting that blue would have that implication more so than green. But when we see it in packaging design, especially with medications, we see it with nighttime medications, or we may see it even with nighttime teas. It can counter red. We also see blue being used quite successfully for carb smart campaigns. So blue is now being used to indicate, the ingredients. And there's a great group of examples in your book for the carb smart line using blue. Purple is royalty. We know this, we use this, we see it. We can also indicate an era of sophistication or luxury. We see purple also being used in the pasta aisle. Again, similar to blue there, because they are very, quite close on the color wheel, depending on the tone of or the value of the color. We can go from depression, peace. Purple can also be used to imply that something is exotic. And because, as we look on the color wheel, it's between a conservative blue and provocative red, the color purple has a lot of range to it. On a side note, the color purple can also be very difficult to execute the way that you intend for it to in a print. So it can be very difficult to regulate in a printed format. And if you try and recall things that you have seen printed, or if you start taking note of things that are printed, very rarely do you see purple being used in large amounts, say in catalogs or in large amounts on product packaging. It's fairly rare because it's hard to control the color purple for print. It's getting better. It's getting better with digital printing, but it is hard to control. Now it starts to get a little interesting when we work with black and white. So black, power, and sturdiness or stability, consistency, depending on how it is used, and in different